Zinchenko has spoken out about being dropped from the starting 11 all of last season, so let's get into it. Zinny, man, I do not understand why you do these interviews. We saw this last season when he spoke about how Arteta will tell white lies in the press or whatever it may be in regards to player fitness as a competitive advantage against opponents. And in this interview, he is quite frank with what he's saying. He's talking about how it pains him a lot to see that he's been dropped to the bench and that, you know, he's worked hard during his career, and for him at the age of 28 to be all of a sudden made to feel like he's no longer wanted or needed is a difficult thing. I think people can empathise with that to a degree, and he even caveats his point, because what I would say is the degree is that a lot of people would not be sitting on the bench of a football club and earning hundreds of £1,000s a week if they are seen as a spare part in their job. And he's right to kind of pull his comments into check by acknowledging that. But speaking just strictly in a footballing sense, this is just something that I feel like you can't do, especially with this Arsenal team. And that is keep going into the press and having these frank interviews. Like for me, I've done a video in the past few weeks saying how actually I think there's a case to suggest that we should keep a hold of Zinchenko as another option at left back because of Calafiori's fitness issues and not overly relying on an 18-year-old Miles Lewis-Skelly. And at a time where the club is probably its most open to selling Zinchenko, at a time where we need to make sales in order to make that additional attacking signing that we want, this is not the time to kind of drop those interviews, unless it's a case that Zinchenko himself is trying to push for a move. But all reports other than this interview have suggested that he wants to see out his contract. And let me get this straight, there's no hate towards Zinchenko. I love the guy. I think he has great skill sets, and the fact that he loves Arsenal through and through is a big thing for me. But I am really confused as to why he does this in the press from time to time. And especially at a time where, if you're talking about your diminished role in the squad, do we not think this diminishes it even more or pushes you out? If that's the case, then maybe you're pushing for the move, which I can kind of see sense with. Like I said in a previous video, I'm happy to keep Zinchenko, but if the situation progresses as it is, especially with these kind of comments, maybe it's best for all parties that, you know, he goes elsewhere so that he can get the minutes that he's looking for. But those are just my opinions, and football's nothing but opinions. So let me know what yours are and keep it respectful in the comments.